Gonna try, gonna try, gonna try. Work till I die, till I die, till I die. I'm gonna fail and get up, cause I'm not giving up on my dream.
Hi my lovely Frosty fam, it's me, Karen Frost, here at Nail Decadence, and I've got another video for you. Welcome everybody, welcome one and all. So in this video I am going to be using lots and lots and lots and lots. Yeah, these nails are extra AF, but you guys know me, that's how I roll. So I'm using a ton of stuff in these nails and packing them full of everything I possibly can. But before we get to that part, I thought I would show you how I do a new set. So I always have a clear layer of acrylic on as a base, you know, on my nails to protect them. And when I'm doing another set, I don't often file back because I find doing a new set and doing a file back pretty much take the same amount of time. So all I do is snip off the free edge. Now when I was recording this, I had already started before I thought about recording it and showing you guys. That's why I started with the free edge already snipped off. So yeah, I snip off the free edge carefully and I use my wire cutters to do that, and I use the wire cutters to remove the crystals. I'll put a picture here of the wire cutters I'm talking about because they are awesome for removing crystals and snipping off the free edge of the nail. Awesome, and I've been using it for years. It's way better than cuticle nippers or what's the word, toenail clippers or anything like that. Way better, way better. You'll trust me when I say you'll get your crystals off no problem if you get yourself a pair of these wire cutters. They're awesome, awesome. Anyway, so what I'm doing is I'm filing back down to my clear layer very carefully. As you can see, this e-file bit that I'm using is a tapered cone and it's not a safety bit, so I'm being really careful with it because this will slice and dice if you are not careful. So I'm removing all of the colour, as you can see. I'm working my way across that nail from side to side. First of all, I go right the way from one side round the cuticle down the other side, and then I work my way across the nail, always moving that e-file bit so that I'm not creating heat, and you know, I don't want a heat spike, so I'm trying to avoid too much friction. So if you keep that e-file bit moving, you'll be fine. And as you can see, like I said, I go up one side of the nail, I go round the cuticle area, then down the other side of the nail, and then I start working my way from left to right again, right the way down, and I'm pulling towards me. Can you see that? I'm pulling down from the cuticle area down to the free edge, and then I will go side to side to just even it out and remove any last bits. See how quick that was? Look at that. Cool. So then I'm going to work on my prep. I can't remember if I'd pushed back my cuticles. I must have done, otherwise I wouldn't be doing the prep part now. But obviously you need to push back your cuticles. And with this bit that I'm using at this moment, it is actually a diamond bit, but it's a crisscross diamond bit. So it kind of acts like a sanding band. It's really good for removing any lifting and shaping the nail. As you can see, I'm shaping that free edge, and it's also good for the same thing that a sanding band does. If you want to use it to prep the natural nail or remove the shine from the natural nail, it does that too. So highly recommend that bit. I'll put a picture of that bit in here as well so that you can see it, what it looks like when it's not spinning, because you can't really see what it looks like whilst it's spinning. But yeah, I really recommend those bits. I've got about 10 of them. I love them. Oh, love them. So yeah, be very careful when you are removing the lifting, because you do not want to file into your natural nail. You just want to remove the lifting. So be careful how you're angling that e-file bit, because yeah, you don't want rings of fire. So you can see I'm going behind it, and then I'm going over it, and then I'm going behind it, and I'm trying to go behind it. Can you see that? And then eventually I'll get it thin enough where I can just pop it off like that, and it's gone. That's how I remove any lifted bits. Same on that side, and I'm just using this to even out the surface as well, so that it's a smooth surface for my application. And this is it, this is all I do, and then I can get on with my new set. So it's not it once you have control of your e-file, you will be able to use it to do everything. Obviously you can do this with a hand file, but I really recommend, for the sake of your hands and your back and your arms and your shoulders, get yourself some e-file training. It's worth every penny for the sake of your you know, like I said, your body. You don't want repetitive stress syndrome in your wrists and stuff from hand filing. So I think every nail tech needs an e-file. You do need to learn how to use a file to do everything, but that is an essential, absolute essential, that you must know. But I think it's also essential for you to get e-file training and learn how to use an e-file to your advantage, which saves your body. It really does make a huge difference. And my old viewers, my subscribers know that I have issues with my health, so my e-file is my best friend. I can't live without it. Yes, I can physically do it with a hand file, but it will kill me. So e-file all the way. Yeah, definitely. Anyway, on to the application. So I did apply my finish prepping my nails. I dehydrated, I primed, I put my tips on before I primed, and then I put a thin clear base layer down again, as usual. I always do that for many reasons. It protects from staining, gives you something to file back to, it protects the nail so that you're not having to constantly prep the nail. I always leave that thin clear base, unless it's lifted, I leave that on the nail. Therefore I am not thinning my nail plate out by constantly re-prepping every week or two when I do my nails. So also adds strength, and like I said, protects from colour. I mean, it does everything. Thin clear base, just do it. There's so many reasons why, and it's definitely worth doing. So yeah, I applied my thin clear base, and then I did a bit with the cover pink on one nail, just to sort of fade. And now on the, what finger is it? The ring finger, yeah, I'm doing a marble with many different blues, as you can see, and I'm only picking up teeny weeny little beads because I wanted to use so many different colours. I got greedy. I did. Yeah, definitely got greedy. So I'm picking up tiny little beads and swirling those colours up and down the nail. And once the nail is covered, I'm picking up tiny beads of clear acrylic and some of these beautiful glitters that I have. That hyacinth one from Smiley's is divine. That reflect, that gold pink reflect that it has is stunning, absolutely stunning. That is an essential for me. Yeah, so I'm adding all different bits of glitter and some bits of mylar in that marble. And now I've gone back to my index finger, my middle finger, where I did that blend. So I literally just blended the cover pink into nothing on a diagonal slant, and I put some clear over that again in a diagonal slant. Let that set up a little bit whilst I put some glitter on the tip, and then I didn't wait quite long enough. I should have waited a bit longer. I was a bit too eager to put the netting in, so the netting got stuck when I was trying to imprint, but never mind. I managed to swipe over some monomer over that netting and get it out and sort of pat the acrylic, clear acrylic, back into place. And now I'm putting a thin wash of the different blues over that clear imprint layer to get that imprint, of course, and let that set up whilst I cap the glitter on the very tip. And I will file to reveal that netting imprint later on, so we've got to let that set up. Decided to add a bit more of the blues up the, cover pink, and I'm putting some gold leaf in the marble as well. Remember I said to you these nails are just everything OTT AF. I meant it. I'm packing so much into these nails, it's unbelievable. But yeah, I went ham, but I really liked it. I really like this set. It's so busy, but it's so nice. Each nail just has something special about it. So on the index finger, I'm using this sort of royal blue, really gorgeous deep blue colour, and I'm putting that up by the cuticle area and trying to get that nice and neat, and then I will fade that down just a little bit of the nail because I'm doing some ombres, as you can see. So I'm using another blue and I'm fading that into the first blue. So I've got the darker blue and then I've got the mid blue, and I'm making my ombre as best as I can get it. With ombres, always remember to use wetter beads. It gets your blend nicer, if you know what I mean. So now that I've done that colour, that mid blue, I'm going for a lighter blue. See, I'm being fancy in this one. You know, we're not just doing an ombre, we are ombreing many colours. Like I said, extra AF. So we've got not a triple ombre, oh no. Not a double ombre, no. We've got a quadruple. That is a hard word to say. Quadruple ombre. I mean, look at that. I was so pleased with this ombre, I'm not gonna lie. I was so pleased. Oh my gosh, and I'm still adding more into that marble, can you believe it? So I've just added some flakies into that marble because it really needed more. No, it didn't. There's so much going on with it, but yeah, no, I added more because you know me, extra. And now I'm adding some of the sequins, and I didn't get my little bendy tool sequin alloy curve tool out, so I'm just bending them with my finger because these shells are quite big, they are very large, so I'm just bending them so that they curve over the nail and don't stick up at the sides because that wouldn't be nice. And I'm just trying to press them in, but my acrylic is hardening up so they're not sticking, so I'm going to use a bit of clear acrylic to get them to sit nicely. And don't move. Stay still, don't move. So a bit of clear acrylic, got them stuck down, and now I'm using tiny beads of acrylic again just to add some of the glitters because yeah, it's got to be done. That hyacinth glitter, ugh, love it. I've got another video coming soon of a set that I haven't done it yet, but I've got a set planned with some more of that hyacinth glitter because it's just lush, so beautiful. So again, tiny bead of clear acrylic, picking up some of those glitters and putting them on the nail where I would like them. And I'm trying not to go OTT, and then I went OTT because I couldn't help myself. I'm adding some flakies now. This nail was supposed to be a bit more simple, but as I got going, I just kept adding more and more, as you can see. Now I'm adding gold leaf. You don't need anything to add the gold leaf with, you just a damp brush and push it into the nail, it's fine, it won't move. But with the glitters and the mylar that you can see me adding now on the tip, you will need a bit of clear acrylic to get them to stick in place. And now I move on to, I'll let that set up so that they don't move when I cap them, and I'll move on to the little finger, and I'm using the darker blue, that royal one. I'm going to do another ombre. And then I'm using a turquoisey kind of colour. It's like a turquoise. I'm putting that at the very tip, and I'm fading that back into the royal blue. Get a nice ombre going. Again, if you ombre that first bead quite wet, your ombre will happen nicer. And then you can go in and go back and forth as needed, as it were. So now I'll add some of that royal blue, and whilst that turquoise is still wet, I can blend that into the turquoise and get a nice blend. So to and fro between the colours. Keep this really thin. When I say keep this thin, I mean really, really thin. There is no bulk being added to these nails at all with these layers. thin, 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 thin. And now I'm going to use the cover pink and add that to the back third of the nail, blend that over that royal blue, get my ombre going, and then I will worry about the cuticle bead. But I want to concentrate on my ombre first before I move into the cuticle. Some people will do it in one bead. I prefer to do it in as many beads as it takes because I'm very fussy and I like my ombres to be the best that I can get them, even though most of the time I cover them with a ton of other stuff, and it's, you know, kind of defeats the purpose of getting an as near perfect as you can get ombre when you cover it with stuff. But yeah, so I'm going to cover it with stuff. Spend all that time trying to perfect it and then cover it. Ugh, it is what it is. I had this glitter, I love it. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this in this video, but this hyacinth glitter is life. It's just life. You need it. So adding some of that hyacinth, and I think it's called blueberry, the other one, and some mylar flakes and some flakies. I think it was mylar flakes, but I definitely put flakies in. And onto the thumb whilst that little finger sets up. And guess what I'm doing? I'm doing more ombres. So I'm using a light blue, but not the lightest that I've got on my nails. One of the lighter blues. I picked so many colours. I really did. These nails were just epic. And then a lighter blue than the blue that I added at the free edge. And of course, like I said, ombre in that sucker. And when I'm happy with it, I'll move on to the next colour. Can you see I'm just putting thin, tiny washes of colour to get that ombre. If you put a huge blob on, you are not going to get a good ombre. It's just not going to happen. Well, it doesn't for me. This is my way of doing it. I'm not saying it's the right way of doing it or the wrong way. I'm just saying this is how I do it and it works for me. So therefore I recommend you trying this and seeing if it works for you. It may not work for you. You may be able to do it in just one bead, but yeah, this is how I do it. And I'm hoping that anyone who struggles with an ombre might find this somewhat helpful. So I've gone on to use the cover pink, and I'm putting that obviously in the back third and by the cuticle area, and first of all concentrated on my ombre blend, then did my cuticle bead, and then added as necessary to blend my ombre even more. See, that's tiny, the tiniest wash of colour, really tiny. Got a little bit missing on the side there, so stuck some cover pink on that. And now I will do a glitter swoosh from cuticle to free edge diagonally across the nail from one end to the one side to the other side. Again, tiny bead of clear acrylic. You don't need loads, just enough to get these glitters stuck on. It's a very thin wash of clear to get them to stick. The flakies, they don't actually need anything to stick, they just stick. And the acrylic is still a little bit wet, so I'm just tapping in some of that blueberry, I think it's called blueberry, the fine glitter into it as well. And now I will cap the nails. So I've put that first bead by that cuticle area. We do need the clear to be a little bit wetter just to cover those glitter pieces nicely and get into all the little crevices, so that you get a nice smooth clean finish. And we protect all those glitters because we do not want to file them away. Definitely not, they're too beautiful to file away. So I will just work from the cuticle down to free edge. I'm looking at the nail as I go, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm swiping my brush down the sides of the nails so I don't lose the shape too much, because if you shape more with your brush, you've got less filing to do. So I'm just making sure my apex and structure is there and that all the glitter is encapsulated. The glitter will go dull when it's encapsulated. If it's still sparkly, like that bit was still a bit sparkly, I put some more acrylic on because that means it's not encased, and you need it encased in that clear acrylic. So on to the ring finger again. That first bead I've put by the cuticle area, I tucked it in behind the colour and then brought it down the nail. To be honest, that first bead was a little bit dry, so I needed to add a little bit more around that cuticle area to get it to tuck right behind that colour, so that I don't file it away when I do my cuticle filing. And then I'll put the second bead in the middle of the nail-ish and bring that down, and again another bead underneath that, and then bring that down to the free edge, and then I'll add some more on the free edge because that bead's not quite enough to encase that glitter on the tip of the nail. Again, I'm smoothing with my brush, I'm shaping with my brush. The more you shape with your brush, the less you have to shape with your file. So application, pay attention to it. Yes, you can sort out a muddle with your file, but if you want less filing, shape with as much as you can with your brush. And look at that now from all different angles. Make sure your apex and structure is there, that you've got a solid, strong nail that you know won't break, and that all of your bits are encased, and that the nail is as smooth as you can get it with your brush. Can't say that enough, because I hate filing. I love watching it, but I hate it. I hate doing it. So the more you can smooth with your brush, the less you will have to do later on. So on this index finger, I started in the middle of the nail because I wanted to make sure I encapsulated those shell pieces really nicely, those big shell glitter sequins. So a slightly wetter bead to encase them again, so that the acrylic flows in every little crevice and really secures and encases those without air pockets. And again, adding more clear acrylic where necessary as I encapsulate that entire nail. And again, thinking about your shape, think about your structure, smooth with your brush as much as possible, bring your sides in, don't let them flare out, all of that good stuff. It can, when you're adding as much as I've added into these nails, you can end up putting a bit too much clear and bulking it out whilst you're trying to encapsulate everything. But if you keep stopping and looking at the nail and compare it to the others, it will be less likely that you overload it, if that makes sense. So keep stopping and looking and making sure the shape of the nail is going according to plan and is reflected on the other nails that you've done before. If the nail isn't similar to the ones you've done before, then you haven't done it right and you need to change some things, if that makes sense. Your nails should all be, what's the word? I've forgotten the word. They should all be together in a group and have consistency in their shape and their width and their thickness, you know. The nails are individuals, but they're also a group. So you need to stop and look at the nail you did previously and make sure that the thickness is the same on the nail you're doing, if that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense. You're going for uniformity and consistency, and that's how you get all your nails looking the same. Well, obviously they're not going to be identical, but you know what I mean. They similar, very, very similar. That's yeah. It, to me, that and a filing routine. I've said it in other videos, but I get new subscribers all the time, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I will say the same things in videos because not everybody watches, is subscribed and has watched the previous videos, and like I said, I get new subscribers all the time, so if I repeat myself, I do apologize. But it's filing routine and paying attention to your application is key to getting nice uniform sets of nails. And as you can see right now, now that I've capped the other nails, I've put a kitchen roll over all my stuff because I don't want any dust in any of my other products. So I protect those with some kitchen roll, and then I filed my netting design in as you can see, revealing it. It didn't come out as good as I'd liked it, but that's, like I said, I pressed my netting in too soon. I should have waited a few more seconds before I did it, but never mind. We'll make it work. And I'm just using some clear acrylic to apply some of that glitter along the side as a diagonal where the, the netting stopped, and adding some gold leaf and bits and bobs, and then dampen that nail down and add my clear capping. So again, nice wet layer to encapsulate all of those lovely sparklies. I've got the windows open, so if you can hear birdies and people shouting, yeah, it's a really nice day, although it's February. God knows when I'm going to get this video up, but it's February right now. And it's a really mild day, surprisingly. I've got the window wide open to get some fresh air in the house, and people are out enjoying their gardens, which is wonderful. But yeah, so if you can hear them, I'm not going to apologise for people having fun in their gardens. Yeah, not going to. It's lovely to hear. To me, it's lovely to hear. It's lovely to hear the birdies. I can hear some crows. I can hear some magpies. I can hear some little tweety tweets from little birds. I just love it. Sounds of life. It's wonderful. But anyway, I totally went on a tangent there. So, capping that nail the same as I did before, and I'm going to be looking at it from all angles, looking at all the nails together and making sure they all look the same. So I filed and shaped off camera. I have other videos where I to show you my filing routines, so if you want to know that, please go ahead and watch some of my previous videos. And now I'm going to bling 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 it, baby. So I've got these tiny little gold shells which are just adorable, absolutely adorable. So I'm using my SBD London, obviously, diamond gel pen, which is wonderful for crystals. Look, I keep changing my mind about which crystal I want. I've got all different kinds out, because I chose so many different blues in the nails. I chose a ton of different crystals as well, and I'm being really fussy, as you saw. I'm pulling some off. Anyway, so I've used that diamond gel, and I'm just making a small cluster. It's not a huge cluster, because I really don't have much space because I put so much glitter on. There's barely any space for crystals. So yeah, I'm just making sure I've got enough of the diamond gel there and moving those crystals where I want them. This pen nib thing, it's just awesome. You can get so precise with your application with that nib. It's the best thing ever. Absolutely best thing ever. And it's got a brush. If you twist the lid, that diamond gel pen has a brush as well. It's awesome. Best invention ever. So yes, adding those crystals and the shell, and just when I'm happy with it, I will flash cure those in place, because I'm so fussy and I'll end up knocking them and then I'll get upset. And now I'm going to add some more crystals to the other nails, even though they don't need it. I'm doing it because, like I said, I mentioned in the very beginning, these nails are extra AF, and I don't care who doesn't like them and who thinks they're too busy. Don't care. I loved them. I absolutely loved this set. They are so over the top and so me. I loved it. Oh, the sparkles. The sparkles from the glitter. The sparkles from the crystals. This set made me so happy. Every time I looked at them, I was happy. Each nail just had so much going on. I loved it. I hope you guys like it too. I really do. But honestly, if you don't, I really don't care. I liked them. I really did. Loved them. Not liked them. I loved them. So yeah, I'll just carry on adding crystals all over the place, because why not? The more the merrier, as it were. Look, I totally just changed my mind. Look what I'm doing. Yeah, I left this in because I thought, you know what? This is what happens when you play. And I was literally having a play. I hadn't designed how I was going to apply the crystals or where I was going to apply the crystals. So I just got on with it. And then I didn't like it, so I removed them. Didn't cure them in place, just shifted where they were to another nail and started again on the ring finger. It's fine for you to change your mind, absolutely fine, because you can think, oh, that will look nice like that, but then when you do it, it might not be what you thought it was going to be, kind of thing. So yeah, I left that in to show you. Doesn't matter, change your mind as much as you like. It doesn't matter until you cure it in place. It's fine, absolutely fine. So I've flash cured those so that they won't move, and now onto the thumb, adding some crystals there, of course. Why not? The other nails have got crystals. We don't want to leave the thumb naked. No, 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 not going to. The thumb needs some crystal love too. So I'm just putting those just around that corner where the cover pink is, and sort of because it's opposite where the glitter is going, it kind of balances the nail, in my opinion. That's what was going through my mind as I applied the crystals anyway. So I flash cure those in place because they will fully cure when I top coat. And now it's time to top it off and keep it tough. The best part, but oh gosh, look, oh my god, it's so exciting. Watch, look at that. Isn't that lush? When that top coat hits and those glitters just come back to life and sparkle the heck out of themselves. Love it, absolutely love it. Anyway, I will leave you to watch the rest of the top coating in peace. As usual, I have left some video footage and some photos at the very end of the video, so thank you ever so much for coming to my channel and spending some of your precious time with me watching one of my videos. I cannot say how much I appreciate your company. There's not enough words. Thank you to all my new subscribers, thank you to all my regulars, thank you everybody. If you're new here, if you'd like to subscribe, please think about it, click that subscribe button if you want to see more from me. If you have liked this video, if it's helped you in any way, shape or form, if you've enjoyed watching it, please click that like button. It'll take you 2 seconds and it means a lot to me, so please do that, and I'd really appreciate it, of course. And if you feel like it, leave me a comment. You're most welcome to, and I'm happy to talk to you. So that is all I've got for this time, peeps. You take care now, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Bye for now.
Wanna give you up. I know we've been through way too much, but I'm confident we'll make it through. I'm here for you, you're not by yourself. Later clock, body talk, there's no need to bring it up. Nothing you say makes it better. Wreck and roll, tear apart, issues left behind. Nothing you say makes it better. Bring it right back to me, baby. No, we've been here before. Give me the real this time. No cap, no lies, it's our encore. Bring it right back to me, baby. I know my heart wants more. Give me the good this time. No cap, no lies, it's our encore. Someday soon, I'm gonna make it.